Hello, expert investors. Paul here. I wanted to review a really cool article that came out in the Star very recently. I hope you can see this. GTA population growth topped Canadian and American cities in 2019. So to be clear, if you actually read the article, and I'll include the link in the newsletter here, that the measured results up to July 1st, 2019, basically told us that Toronto was the fastest growing city in all of North America. Now, what implications does that have for you as a real estate investor? Well, if you're buying a property for the first time, if you're a rookie just getting started, don't know how to get started, and one of your fears is that you're not sure if you can get the property rented, well, this should cure that fear for you. We all have fears, it's human, it's normal, but we want to put them to rest. And the population is growing, and we do not, as in our region here in Southern Ontario, especially in Toronto, and it spreads all the way out through the GTA and Golden Horseshoe, we do not have enough rental supply to absorb the demand coming from immigration, population growth, new births, all that kind of stuff. We are, depending on who you talk to, we are somewhere between 80 and 120,000 units short, which is an insane number, which means I could build a 1,000 unit apartment building right next door to our office here, and I could fill it up, and not even, that would be a drop in the bucket on the demand we still have. Okay, so I want to point out a couple things really quick. So analyzing the U.S. and Canadian figures for 12 months ending July 1st, they show that Toronto with the biggest growth in terms of city and also the census population area. That includes municipalities around Toronto. The data shows that Toronto was the fastest growing metropolitan area in Canada and the U.S. last year, overtaking Dallas, Fort Worth, Texas, Arlington for that top spot. And notice that the area they call Dallas, Fort Worth is basically a combination of three cities. It's Dallas, it's Fort Worth, and it's Arlington. But that's almost like a GTA kind of thing. But we're talking just Toronto here, never mind the GTA. Okay, so Metro Toronto grew by 127,000 people compared to 117,000 to Dallas-Fort Worth. New York and Los Angeles, Chicago all shrank over those same 12 months. New York, the hardest hit, losing 60,000 people. Okay, now people leave the city too because the city is also expensive. They're moving out to the suburbs or to Hamilton or to Niagara. So this is also important to note. The net immigration advantage saw the city achieve a net gain of 45,000 people, while New York contracted by 53,000. Now, does that mean New York's a bad place to invest? No. It just means that Toronto, by far, right now, in this moment, is insane with demand. Everyone wants to be here. If 10 people are coming to North America, a good chunk of those 10 people are coming straight here to Toronto and to the GTA. Okay? So as a landlord, you stand to profit from that. It's a massive trend. If you get in front of the trends and you have good properties, good units in good areas that are highly desirable, you're going to rent them out. You're going to rent them out for the top dollar, and you're going to make all that cash flow you need. So that's why these headlines are important. It's important to read inside because you get some juicy details in there. Okay, and just as a icing on the cake, overall, Canadian cities represented 11 of the top 20 central cities in the U.S. and Canada population growth, with Montreal being second behind Toronto. So what does that tell you? If Toronto's number one in comparison to all these big American cities, that's great. But if Toronto and Montreal are 1 and 2 in comparison, what does that tell you about Canada as a whole? Now, does it mean that out of 10 people, the top 2 places people are going to want to come to are either Toronto or Montreal, before New York, Chicago, or LA, or Miami, or any of these places? Okay, so very interesting article. I'm going to include the link here, and there's many reasons why this might be true, but the point is, if you're a real estate investor in the GTA, this is a great news for you, and we need it now with all this uncertainty coming around. So if it's your first time checking out our newsletter, checking out one of our videos, definitely reach out to us. There's a button here where you can kind of connect with me for a 15 to 30 minute call to talk about your portfolio, talk about what your goals are with real estate. And we want to do that. We want to connect with new people all the time to see how we can help. Okay, check out our monthly webinars, our next Q&A coming up. We love sharing content. We love to work with you getting investment properties that make you rich, get you the freedom, and get you to the goals that are on your big list. Talk soon.